It's time once again for a special update from the City of New Hope. Mayor Kathi Hemken is joining us once again. Welcome, Mayor. How are you today?
Fine, thanks, Dave. You?
I am very good. Thanks for being with us. We've got a lot to talk about, a lot going on in New Hope. Let's begin with the railroad crossing, and we want to update people on a date, Mayor. Tell us about that.
Well, I do need to apologize. Last week I told you that the railroad was slow and they wouldn't be able to do anything till 2022. Well, I still think they're slow, but it's going to be 2021 now when they start working on the railroad crossing. So pretty soon it'll get there. We are working on doing culvert and the sidewalk first, and then they'll come in and do the railroad crossing. And so maybe we won't be ruining our transmissions and our shocks anymore on that railroad crossing.
All right. Good news that it's coming a little faster. Let's talk elections for a few moments. A big election year. Tell us some of the things residents need to know.
Well, we're working with Homeland Security, and they're going to provide us with hand sanitizers and masks and just about everything we might need for the elections coming up. We need to protect the voters as well as the election judges. The city's also buying plexiglass panels that'll be put up at the desks, so that'll help protect them from each other, I guess. The other thing I wanted to mention is a lot of people have been getting a form to sign up for voting. Not to register necessarily, but to get a mail-in ballot. And those forms, some of them are pre-filled, and that's coming from the Voter Participation Center. It's a legitimate group. We the city have no control over who gets those, by the way.
Okay.
So if all the information is correct and you finish filling it out and sign it and send it in, you'll get a mail-in ballot. If there's something wrong, I would suggest that you either cross it out or call the city and ask for an application for a mail-in ballot if that's how you want to vote.
Very good. A lot of information about the election coming up on the city's website.
I do want to point out though that there's no voting fraud involved in this at all. This is just a group that wants to get more people out there to vote.
Very good to know. So newhopemn.gov to find out more about the upcoming election process. Let's move to community development. Some good news on some work happening in a couple areas of town. Give us that update.
Well, Windsor Ridge is doing well. We sold the second house for $390. There's 2 sales that are pending, and there's 3 that are in the works. So it's moving right along. It's 51st in Pennsylvania. If you haven't driven over there, you should go and see. It's really amazing to see that being done.
And then the other is the Village on Quebec. Give us a little update there of some of the business activity happening. Well,
that's where the micro distillery wanted to come in. Now, the micro distillery is renting and they don't own the property. But when they asked for a conditional use permit, we had to go out and inspect, and they had an awning that was falling down, some light fixtures that needed to be fixed, some exterior storage that had to go away, and striping of the parking lot. Well, they did all of the stuff except for the striping of the parking lot. And that was supposed to be done by the 15th of June. It wasn't done. And so we're in the process of doing a citation to the owner of the property. This is not the distillery that's doing this. This is the owner of the property. Okay. So we'll get that parking lot striped and they'll be all ready to go into business.
Very good. Let's talk about the farmers market. Market number 1 happened. I know you were there. Tell us how that went and what people can look forward to.
Well, I'm guessing there are about 100, 150 people, 12 vendors. Of course, there's not a lot to buy. Radishes and kohlrabi and beets and kale. Who would want that? But that's about all they had. I did tell people that the donut guy would be there, and he called in the day before and said he didn't think he was going to make the market this year.
All right.
So for whatever reason, but there was a crepe wagon there, so you could buy crepes and take the crepe over to City Hall and sit on one of the benches and eat. They don't want you eating in the market. So most of the people wore masks. Some people brought dogs and they were asked to not have them there. They tell me that each week they'll have more vendors there as more food comes on, because everything has to be Minnesota grown. And well, you know how that goes. Tomatoes and corn aren't ready. I did ask the lady at Beck's when the corn was coming, and she said July 10th.
All right.
So we got 3-4 weeks yet to wait for our corn, but it'll get there.
Very good. Mark that date on your calendar. Let's talk about the census. It is a census year, and you have some statistics to tell us about, and also just urge to residents to participate.
76.5% of the people in New Hope answered the census. That's much higher than the state in the whole, and certainly a lot higher than the country. So we're really happy about that, but that means there's 74.5% that did not. So the enumerators will start going out probably mid-August till the end of October. If you don't want an enumerator to come to your house, I suggest you go onto the website for the census. I believe you can fill that out. It's pretty self-explanatory. Right. Fill that out, and you might save yourself a trip by the enumerators. It's so important. That information is so important. It tells us where to put things, like hospitals and clinics and grocery stores, and we need that information.
Very good. Here's another way to get some useful information to the city. This is the Performance Measurement Survey. Tell us again why this is necessary and how that process works.
Well, we were going to have Morris Letterman do a survey for us. We didn't think this was the right time for a professional survey. So staff did a survey that they've done before. It's going out in the utility bill that'll come out in July. If you don't get a utility bill because you live in an apartment, you can go online and fill out the survey that way. You have until the 18th of September to fill it out. We really need to know what people want, what they think, what they need, what they don't want, what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. It gives us a chance to fix any problems that we have and just to gloat a little bit about the things we've done right.
Very good. So newhopemn.gov, again, the website, find out more information about the survey there. And there you'll also see information about scattered site housing, a great program in the city of New Hope. You've got an update on one house that has sold and also some information about other sites. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So one of the things that happens with Hennepin County, they give us some CDGB money, that is Community Development Block Grant money. And the council voted to give half that money to Habitat for Humanity project, and the other half will go to the scattered site housing program. So the part we have a contract with Hennepin or with Habitat for Humanity, and when that goes through, what they'll do is we'll help them pick out a house in New Hope, right, and they will either demolish it or they will rehab it and then sell it to a qualified family to buy that. The qualifications to buy a house for Habitat are very strict, and they really do a good job of screening people. So you get a nice family into a house that's affordable.
Fantastic. And the other is there's other sites within the city of New Hope that you're looking at. Tell us about this next phase of the scatter site process.
Oh, yeah. We sent out 12 letters to houses that looked like they were in disrepair. They're the lowest valued houses in the city. Just to see if anyone was interested in selling. We certainly don't want to sell for twice the market value. We won't buy it for that. But if there's a house that's either empty or needs to be sold, they can certainly call us. There'll be a phone number on there. Or even if you didn't get a letter, but you think maybe you might be interested, again, you can go onto the website or call City Hall and they'll get you in touch with somebody.
Fantastic. Let's jump ahead to business networking, a group that is always getting together. Tell us a little bit about upcoming meeting dates.
First and third Mondays. The first Monday's at 8:30. The third Monday's at 2 or 2:30. You should get something in the mail if you've ever participated in one before. If not, you can always, again, call the city, and someone in the city will give you the information how to get onto that Zoom call. A lot of really good information, a lot of ways that small businesses can get some money if they need that. So they should be going on to that meeting if they can.
Very good. I just wanted to check here, looking at the calendar. You said Mondays would that be Wednesdays? Is Wednesday correct for that group?
Oh, I'm sorry. It is Wednesdays.
That's
yes.
all right.
First and third Wednesdays.
First and third Wednesdays. So again, if you want to join that group, great group to keep
Thanks for checking.
Oh, you're welcome. Just looking at the calendar here.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about some businesses coming to town and some of the process they go through. What businesses can we be looking forward to?
Well, when a business comes, they need a certificate of occupancy. And it's different than a house certificate. This is a business use certificate. So there's three. One is called Loon Labs, Extracts and Research at 47th in Quebec. There's a Los Anchos Mexican restaurant on 71st and Bath Lake Road. And then the Wahlburgers, that's in High V, has got all their paperwork in order, and they've been inspected, and they passed, and they're ready to go.
All right, be watching for those new businesses to open up. Let's talk about the police department for a minute. And I know there's been a lot of communication between the police department and the council. Give us a little recap on that.
Well, we asked the police department to come on a Zoom meeting with us. just to tell us what is the police department doing. And so they talked about the training they're doing and how that goes on continually. They told us about community policing. Um, let's see, the use of force, just some impartial policy they're doing. It was really nice to actually hear it from both the chief and Sergeant Stanley, who does the training, and what the training is, what they're doing, and how they're checking to make sure that the training is actually meaningful to them.
Very good. Let's hop over to another department in the city that a lot of times is out and about, but kind of under the cloak of silence sits as Public Works. Tell us a little bit about those fine people that really keep the city running.
Those are my community angels. You just
Yes.
never see them, but they're there. They're fixing water main breaks. They're fixing manhole covers that have come up. There was a pothole on 30th and Gettysburg that they fixed. Utilities that get cut. There's some graffiti at Lighted Park. And of course, they're always fixing our vehicles. Whenever something goes wrong with one of our city vehicles, it goes to the garage, and those wonderful people fix it for us.
Thank you to them for their great work. Let's talk about a couple projects that are happening within the city. One you wanted to update people on is CenterPoint Energy. What's happening between 36th and 42nd? What is the latest there?
Well, that is strictly CenterPoint Energy's project, but there's cones all over the place.
Yes.
And so the traffic is down to one lane each way. You have to be very careful. I'm asking people, please, please slow down. The people that work there, sometimes they get a little bit out of their lane, and we don't want anyone, those are dads and moms, and we want to make sure they're safe. So they're doing some repair work. Hopefully it won't be too much longer. They'll fix the street, the cones will be gone, and we'll be back in business. But in the meantime, just be careful.
All right, makes sense. We've talked about some of the activity at Boone and 42nd for a while here. I understand there's a little change in that project. Tell us about that.
There is. We were going to get a new light there with an arrow, I think. Well, Hennepin County said that we couldn't use any of our state aid funding money until 2021. And so what we're going to do is we're going to bid the project out this winter, and we'll get bids on it, and we'll be ready to go early in 2021. We'll get a new light there, but it won't be this year.
Let's hop over to Park and Rec. A lot going on here as they reconfigure things a little bit for virtual work here during the summer, early summer, but we're going to get back to some activities soon here. Tell us about that.
We certainly are. Well, everything we do, we have to have a preparedness plan. And a lot of those plans have to be sent into the state to make sure that we're complying like we should. We want everyone participating to be safe, as well as our staff. So the playground and the summer ball programs, those should start the 6th of July. That plan's been in place, and they're working on that. Planning with the dance coordinators, so they'll have dance classes this summer. Again, social distancing, it's going to look different than it was. It may be outside, you never know. But they're working on something there. They're actually, I found this kind of interesting. They're advertising selling prepared science kits for the summer. They'll be for sale all summer. So if you've got a kid that needs something to do, you can order one of these kits and do some science projects at home. I think that's kind of cool. So the softball plan, the preparedness plan for the adult softball, that plan has been sent out to all the teams that participate. They have to sign it, read it would be good. Read it, sign it, send it back. Once we get that back, they can start using the fields and maybe we'll have a game in July. So we don't need those twins. We've got our own softball guys.
There we go.
playing.
Let's hop over to the community gyms and talk a little bit about some changes there with some help of some friends in the area.
Well, Hennepin County gave us a $5,000 grant to put 2 new scoreboards in the community gyms. So those are in, and they're looking very, very nice. We always do a fall brochure, and we send that out to people. Well, this year, it's going to be done digitally. The reason we're doing that is because there's so much change going on. They really need to be able to change quickly. And once that thing goes to the printer, you can't change anything. So that's going to be done electronically. If you've participated before, you should get something that'll tell you how to get to that site. If you have not and you want to see the fall brochure, you can again call City Hall or go onto the website, and you should be able to find where you can get that brochure. We have to do that so that we can make changes as they happen, and they happen daily.
Makes sense. Let's give people a couple updates on some of our favorite park and rec facilities throughout the area, the golf course, the swimming pool, and the ice arena. How are things coming along?
Well, the golf course is in wonderful shape. I played on Sunday, a terrible game. I found out that I need new sunglasses because mine don't have the correct lenses in them. So I was missing the ball entirely. Oh, it wasn't funny, though. It wasn't a pretty sight at all. But we do have a new obstacle at the golf course, and that's a big, giant turtle, a live turtle. It's coming out of the pond somewhere. It trots along in the fairway. Please don't pick it up. Don't poke it with your club. Just stand back and just let it do its thing, and it smells terrible. And we kind of try to shoo it back in the pond, and it just comes out again. Anyway, the golf course is open, and if you want a little extra excitement to see the big, giant turtle, you can come play a round of golf and maybe it'll peek its head out to you.
It's enjoying the beautiful course as well. How about the ice arena and pool? What are the updates there?
Yeah, well, the ice arena, they're doing, well, it's open, of course, and they're doing some training. I don't know why they do this kind of training, but they are. The kids are in there learning how to shoot pucks and doing some weight training and skating. So that's open. It's not open to the public yet, but it will be soon. What's happening at the pool? Well, the shade structures are in. The concrete is poured. I've never seen so many concrete trucks in my life. The fences around there have come out. Just the fences protecting the construction site. So now the fences will go up around the pool. Of course, the pool isn't open, but the trails are, so you can always go use those trails.
Very good. Fun to look around and see some of the areas that will be open in 2021. Final couple minutes here, we wanted to talk about human resources, give people a little update on some staffing news and also some preparedness work they're doing.
So we hired a new administrative specialist. Our communications person left, so the communications specialist moved over there, and we had to hire a new one. So she should start on July 6th. We also had applications for some police officers. Right. 4 of those will go to the chief and the city manager, and then they will pick a couple to hire. There's Health Partners has a webinar on about 19. So our human resource people are looking at that. We may be getting some information about that soon, but there is an impact to people's health, especially the ones that are working from home, and we need to be able to address that.
Final note we want to touch on is the city's Facebook page. So a great way to stay in touch. And I understand, Mayor, that statistics are good. People are going there.
They are. It must be fascinating. I don't know. But it seems like 51% increase in the people that go there. Now, I don't know what that actual number is, but that sounds like twice as many are going than had. There's a lot of information on that Facebook page. There's also a lot of information on our website. And again, if you can't find what you need, call the city and they'll give you what you need to get in there.
Yep, city phone number on the bottom of the screen, as well as coming up here, the city's website. Great place to find out what's going on in the city and all of the items that the mayor updated us on. And the Facebook page, great home for these videos as well. So when we chat with the mayor, we convert those from the Zoom meetings we're doing here to Facebook, so you can have a chance to look at them there as well. Mayor, thanks so much for your time again today. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Well, thanks, Dave.
Learn more about The Connection at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.